Okay, so here's the deal. Today, June the 30th, I'm going to hand out some flyers for the real estate to advertise myself. Cindy is busy today because we were going to go today and hand out some flyers together, but she's actually got a showing to go and do in Stony Plain, which is about a 45-minute drive. So it's just going to be me today. So I've got 50 to hand out. Now, the crappy thing is when I made these flyers, which have turned out excellent, I must say, as you can see, kind of like my second time doing it, and I put some little tips on the back for people. But guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to put my cell number in. So I went into the gas station and asked for if they sold any pens, which they did not, and I found a pencil. So now I'm handwriting my cell phone number on 50 of these flyers. And the good news is I'm below the 390s now for my weight. So I'm very happy about that. This is going to take some time, I would imagine. I don't really know. Maybe I should just go and hand them out anyway. I've got my Instagram stuff. Information on there and things like that, because this could take a while and it looks like we might get some rain again. It did rain quite good over the last couple of weeks. We got a lot of rain. There was a lot of cities that were under like a water warning, which meant that they weren't able to use like their showers, laundry. You definitely didn't need to water your lawn because there was quite a lot of, over 100 millimeters, which is quite a lot. Last year in June, where I live here in Leduc, Alberta, for the whole month we got 60 millimeters, which is not a lot for the whole month. We got that in a day. We got more than that. Some places got 103, 120 millimeters, I believe. Kananaskis, which is a few hours down the road for me, a couple of hours. Grizzly bear country, basically. They are under they've called a local emergency. State of emergency, I suppose, because of the water. So hopefully everything will be okay for them down there, and hopefully it clears up soon and they can get caught up. So this is kind of a behind the scenes look at what it takes sometimes to get your name out there and advertise yourself a little bit. It can be quite overwhelming at times because you're like stressful maybe, but I handle it a bit differently because I just say to myself, this is part of the journey with anything that you do and you start to do. You just got to embrace it and understand that this isn't gonna last forever, right? Like, this is a part of it. Last week, Cindy and I, we handed out just over 50 flyers that I had made. She printed these ones off this week. and we had a lot of fun. It was great getting out. We met a few people, and it was quite good. I used to live over here in South Fork, actually. I bought, or built, sorry, a couple of homes over here. And I enjoyed it over here. It's a great family community. I don't really know too many realtors. Like, I haven't met, there's so many, right? But I've met some really kind people, realtors. And it's interesting because we all have our own ideas, eh? Like, you would think that people would kind of just do the same thing, but it's amazing how creative people can be. And just so many kind people out there that are willing to help. You know, people like myself that have just kind of started now. I've been doing this for, what, 4 months roughly? And so far, like I say, I had a client recently that I just helped them take possession of their home. Beautiful home. So I'm quite proud of myself. You know, because you start to see some of the results from the work that you put in, and from what you're learning from other realtors. Cindy, who I've kind of partnered up with at times to hand flyers out, for example, she's been doing it for 28 years. I left the oil industry, and I'm glad for the change, really, because it keeps me active. I can build my day around getting back into shape and getting the weight off my body, and I've come such a long way with that. I was recently on Ozempic, and I tried that out for about 4 months, 4 or 5 months, and I said, why am I doing this? You know, you still have to put the work in, and you still have to control what you're eating. And I grew up in a time where stuff like that didn't exist. iPhones didn't exist. YouTube didn't exist. GoPro cameras. I'm using a DJI. I love the DJI camera. And I just thought, Andrew, like, why don't you just get back to basics? You know, get back to doing things more simple. You know, go and put the work in and get yourself lifting weights and get yourself walking and like continuing on with my walking. I walk every day for a good hour, you know, around the park. And after this is done, if it's not raining, that's what I plan to do, is go for a walk. I'm going to go and pick up a couple of Canada Day flags from the City Hall, because they give them out, these little flags, for free. They used to come around and put them on the lawn, but that stopped. So I'll go there and I'll pick my mom up and see if she wants to go for a cup of tea. She's got a bit of a sore knee, so she'd be out helping me do these flyers. I know it. I can't believe I missed putting my cell number on the flyer. Kind of important, right? If people call you. Well, wait a minute. What's the guy's number? What's this guy's number? And I've got some more ideas for other flyers in the future. But as soon as I noticed this, I said, oh no, I've missed my cell phone. I made the changes yesterday and made sure to save them. Oh boy, right? And I think I'll just start maybe on the other side of where we started, and then maybe next week Cindy and I'll come out again. Just trying to get my number down in there. And okay, the numbers are in. And of course it's in pencil, of all things, again, right? Andrew. Last one. Okay, the flyers are filled out. Now, I've got to fold them quickly, and then we're going to get going, and we're going to hand these puppies out. So thanks for watching. And it quickly does get quite hot, so I think the quickest thing for me today is just gonna see if I can place them in a door and respect the people that have the no soliciting. Nothing a bit more annoying when you've got something like that up and people still come anyway. So if you're out there watching and you got a no soliciting sign on your door, if I happen to come to your door, my apologies. It's just because I haven't seen it. I'm apologizing in advance. If I have put a flyer in your door with a no soliciting sign. Some of the signs, I will admit, I saw a sign last week when Cindy and I were doing this, and it was made out of wood, and it was really nice. And I just kind of thought that it was one of those, those stands that say welcome. And it wasn't. It said, please, or something like, if you don't have Girl Scout cookies, we're not interested. Which I thought was really cool. That was very creative and a good idea. I thought that was really neat. So I didn't see it until after. I had already placed the flyer. Like on our way out kind of thing. I thought, oh. So I'm just trying to put the groundwork in, obviously, of building something hopefully special that I can do good at and succeed and help people. That's my goal here. So I hope that I can be good at it. I know that I'm quite diligent, but I just hope that I can have that connection with people to help people. So I'm not somebody that's a pushy salesperson. I never thought that I would work in sales in my life. But you can't always plan for tomorrow. Like in my last job, I thought, man, I'll be here now until I retire. And that didn't happen. What happened was the worldwide pandemic called COVID. And during that time, our company, Syncrude, which was a great company to work for, I really miss that company. And all of the people that used to work there, excellent people, they got bought out by Suncor. And when Suncor took it over, they were already looking at all the different departments, to see where you can make changes as a business. And but unfortunately, like when you have one company that takes over another, well, then you start to slash departments and everything else. You'll obviously probably have too many people working there. So, I get it. So when they laid off a lot of people from my department. But I'll be honest, I look at it now, maybe it happened for a reason, right? Like I say in quite a few of my other videos, it's strange the way that life works sometimes, because like I ended up in the hospital during that time and I was in a coma. And I'm very lucky and I'm very thankful that I am where I am today. And I just kind of thought, like, I got into safety and I took all the safety courses to become a safety officer. And for a while, I did it. And I just kind of thought, this doesn't seem to be resonating with me. Because back then I was like, well, what do I want to do? And I'm like, well, I like helping people. And so I thought, well, maybe that meant that I was meant to get into safety, because then you're looking out for people. Their best interest, to work safely, to help people get home safely. Which I did enjoy, but I kind of maybe was a bit burnt out of the whole industry, like oil industry, and as good as it was, I just thought, something, this just isn't cutting it, because I wanted to focus on my health, and working long hours and being away and that kind of thing didn't really sit well with me anymore at the time. And I just thought, and would I do it again? Yes. Would I go up to Fort McMurray again and work? Probably. If it was the right job, like working for an actual oil company, I would probably, and do this maybe on the side. I don't know. But anyway, I wanted something that I could build my day around: going to the gym, going for walks, being around for my mom, like taking her to some appointments in the city, that kind of thing. And I loved building houses. I've built a few in my time. And I've always resonated with that. And it's funny because ex-girlfriends had even said, you'd make a good realtor. And you know what? It's just funny how life comes back at you 360 like that, because guess what? Now I'm a realtor. Who knew? Right? It's just crazy how that happens. Like when I first worked at Syncrude, I was working for them as an employee. I was a process operator. And then I got into consulting. When I got into consulting, I was overseeing large-scale major projects. And the first project that I took on was up in Cell 20, they call it, on the Mildred Lake Settling Basin. And it was right next to where I first started at 16, 17 years old. My first job on site with Northern Underwater Systems, which was NUS. And it was like, how many years later? Like 12 to 13 years later? My very first project was located directly across from the place that I first worked. Isn't that strange? Because then I was in a new career as a consultant. Now I'm in a new career as a real estate agent, a realtor in Leduc and Edmonton, serving Leduc and Edmonton. It's just strange. So I think if you can identify what your purpose is, you'll probably feel a bit more grounded in life. You'll feel more happy, fulfilled, that sort of thing. Because for me, this isn't about just trying to make money, as a career or a lifestyle, or trying to provide a life for myself. This is about helping people in this community. I get fulfillment off of that. And at the same time, I get to go and I can go for a walk, and enjoy some fresh air and stuff like that. And like I mentioned earlier, I'll go and see if my mom wants to come out for a cup of tea. We'll hang out for a bit, And that's what I like. So, it's hot in here with all the windows. I got an infrared sauna. I'll try and show it to you later. Got it all set up now in the garage, and I have been using it. I've used it the last few days, about 20 minutes at a time. Always check with your doctor and physician or pharmacist. Make sure that you're okay to go in there and take all the safety precautions, right? I got it off of Amazon. It was a portable infrared sauna. And it's great. Okay, we are almost done. And that took me about half an hour roughly. So, now if I can hand these out, and that's even better now, and that'll be my goal for the day. And Canada Day is tomorrow. We have fireworks are tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the evening. And the best place, if you're in Leduc, is the William F. Leduc Park, which coincidentally I like to go and walk around daily. So I'll move you around. Stay tuned. All right, everybody. We are now and hand out the flyers. I am absolutely drenched and soaked. Oh, actually, there we go. So I was just parked at the gas station. Had to write my name and number on the flyers. Silly me. I forgot to include that when I was making the flyer before Cindy printed them all out. And this week, I think I'll go this way and we'll just do a... Oh, that breeze is nice. So this is in South Fork in Leduc, AB in Leduc, Alberta. Whew. And I think I'll go on this side of South Fork for a change, because where we were last time, it kind of does meet into one. So bump. So it's not too bad of a day. It's got some sun, it's clouding. We had a really good thunderstorm last night, a lot of rain. We've got more rain on the way this week, off and on. So, and some good news, the smoke isn't as bad as it was yesterday. There's a fire in the Northwest Territories and all the smoke blew into Alberta. So hopefully everybody is okay in the Northwest Territories and the fire gets under control. So I'm just going to park along here and I'm going to get going. Kind of not a bad spot to park, really. And in fact, maybe I will park on this side of the road so that I'm not taking up somebody's parking spot in the front of their home. So I'll just kind of go along here, turn around. And go from there. Okay, and I'll try to keep track of where I've handed the flyers out. Maybe I'll park here, and then that way I can just walk straight down. And okay, get nice and parked away here under the shade. All right, everybody, I'll be back. Must be nice to be you, because in the split of a second, I'll be done when I come back. So stay tuned. I'll let you know how it goes. Well, we're done. I just finished handing out 50 flyers that Cindy printed off, and I had 2 extra. So excellent. I am very pleased that I was able to come out and do that. It's quite hot out. I got my exercise in today, that's for sure. But it always feels good to accomplish something or what you set out to do. And I really enjoyed it, actually. I just went and handed out the flyers, put them on people's doors kind of thing, knocked on some doors, and it's getting a bit cloudy out now, so I may have beaten the rain if we do get some. There's some really beautiful properties around, and you get a lot of great ideas for landscaping and just the things that people have. One individual had like a full, almost like a screen door on their garage. Looked really nice. So you can sit in your garage, no bugs or anything is going to come in, and you can get all the fresh air sitting in there. It's really nice. So I'm going to get going now. I might go do a quick loop around the park to get some extra steps in today. And we'll see you in a little bit. We will go now and get, well, maybe later. Actually, not now. And if they have any left, some flyers. I'll probably be dreaming about flyers. Goodness gracious. I hope that I'm able to help more people. I hope people enjoy my flyer anyway. So this is a bit of South Fork. It's not a... It's a family community, and it's great. You know, it really is. So many families and... Oh. It's a nice area. I used to have 2 homes over here. Many moons ago. It does look like those clouds are coming in pretty quick. So I'm kind of glad that I stayed on top of that. Some lawn companies out cutting lawns for places that are having their landscape looked after monthly. Goodness gracious, you know, even the thought just a few years ago, I could have done that, but it probably would have taken me a couple of times. I did that all in one go. Climbing stairs and everything else. So that, so far on my watch, it just says about just over 4 kilometers is what I just walked there with all the houses. So that was great. That was awesome. There was a terrible accident at this intersection a couple of weeks ago. Sadly, 2 people passed away because of that accident. And from what I understand, right beside us here on the right, you can see the traffic light there. That's where the car ended up. Somebody went through an intersection and sadly T-boned another vehicle. So, you know, you really got to be very careful when you're out these days. And I wouldn't think that it's just this country or province. I would think that it's everywhere. And I think a lot of it is distracted driving, and along with speeding and everything else. So, you know, it's really not worth speeding to save yourself a few extra minutes. I used to tell people at work all the time, listen, if you're a minute late, you're already late anyway. And the main thing is your safety. So if it takes you half an hour extra or an hour extra or however long it takes you, take your time, because nothing is worth risking your life. So when you see a light change even, don't go through it. Just slow down, stop. As soon as you see it go amber, slow down, stop. Now sometimes you're like coming up to the intersection and you're already like through it almost. At that point, it's safe enough, I would assume, for you to go, right? Because you're already in motion. Your vehicle is already traveling at the speed. You know, like this crosswalk, like that, see? Or this traffic light up here. You go through it and it changes, well, that's okay. A good indication as well is the light, the hand signal on the traffic light itself. It starts to blink. So you've got an idea that the light is going to change soon. Just be wary of that. Like, just take your foot off the gas. Start to gently slow down and stop. Just be careful, you know, because it's not worth it. And even when you're turning like that, it is tricky because you've got other vehicles that are turning and they're in front of you and you can't see. What I do is I look underneath the vehicle across from you, and if I see tires or, you know, anything like that, do whatever you can to see and don't go unless you can see, or look through their mirror to see if there's a vehicle coming. You know, do what you can. And if you're not sure, don't go. So, just my little tip. A lot of people out walking. I'm like riddled with bug bites. They're everywhere. There's so many mosquitoes out. We've had so much rain. So turned out to be quite a nice day. Morning. I'll have to see if I can do a video of actually going to each, but I don't know if I can because it'll show people's addresses maybe. Maybe you can't, I don't know. But I've got a bit of running around to do now, and I'll do that. And I want to show you my hot tub. Or not my hot tub, my sauna, my portable sauna. So we'll do that shortly. And I'll go do my Costco run, go and enjoy a cup of tea, and hang out with my mom for a little bit. So we'll see you soon. See you in the flick of a switch. Just got out of the old sauna now. Usually what I like to do, I'm absolutely soaked, is I like to air it out a little bit after I'm done using it, but I'm absolutely drenched. So I'm going to go in now and have a bit of a cold shower and relax for the rest of the night. Man, does it ever feel good though. If you decide to get one, I've really been enjoying that one so far. Ask in the comments and I'll certainly point you in the right direction. So we will see you all again soon. Canada Day tomorrow, right? So I'll be sure to get out and check out some events around the city. So thanks very much for watching my video. If you can give me a like and a follow and say hi, that would be great. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.